YouTube? So I'm gonna bring you a recap of over the weekend testing tune. So as y'all know, if y'all watched the video, this car was in pieces. So I broke both left arms, transmission, I knocked wires out of the R1 ESC, um, shock tower. But anyways, it was back together the same night. Uh, got a little pet peeve about my car being broke while while I have the pieces. So when I got this car, I had a bag full of extra. So I had everything that was needed, but also I didn't have it when I was at the track. So I want to give a huge shout out to Benji. While I was there, he gave me the arms. I started working on the car, basically putting it back together. By the time I left, all I think I needed to do was put on the shock tower and the transmission case. Everything else was back intact. So I just worked on the pro stock from there. But as far as this car, it did do good. So let me explain what was happening. So I started over with the tune and worked my way back up, and was going pretty decent. So now where I made my mistake at when I crashed was I messed with the brake. So I had my brake down to like 30% on the remote, and I end up going up to 50. And the next run I did, I hit the brake and the car just went sideways and lifted up. So no control after that, and it did what it did. But I'm glad I saved the battery, the ESC. So wasn't pretty much nothing to do but change parts. So she's back up and running. Hopefully she still runs the same. We'll definitely see what happens. So we have a point race coming up this weekend. It's looking like it's going to rain, so unfortunately we might not be able to get out, but I am planning on testing. If not, just regular testing. I just want to get out to see what the car is doing. Also, getting some tires done up, so I want to make sure that that the car is ready to go pretty much. I've been running the tires that I've been running on this car, I've been running, well, like the end of the last race, so they're still fairly new. I just want to try golds and silvers and see how those adjust. So I am going to get the tablet to show y'all my last log, because I haven't even looked at it when I crashed. And the DTS said like a 181 or 182, something like that. So we was headed in the right direction. What I learned was I took a lot of boost out of it. I don't really run a lot of turbo, which I will get there, but at the moment I'm not. So I took a lot of boost out and noticed that I was running more sufficient with less boost and still doing the same numbers that I was running when I first started messing with the R1. So I'll definitely get a log. I'll get the tablet and show y'all a log and go from there. Alright, YouTube. So what I think happened here is my log didn't it saved, but what happened after I pulled the wires out of the ESC, I had to bleep the throttle a few times just to make sure that it was still working. And then after I rebuilt the car, I bench tested it. So I'm thinking that my log, yeah, it's not even there. Those are the 3 bleeps I did. So I'll get into the tune-up real quick just to show y'all why I think it's running more efficient. So that's pretty much what I'm running is 19 boost, 10 turbo. So, and the car was doing pretty decent. Wasn't getting out of control, nothing. I was just pretty much changing the ramps on my remote. Just making the ramp faster to see how much the car can take. So, just playing, but my car was a lot efficient with this. Instead of running, for instance, 40 or 35 in boost, and I was seeing 490 in current, and I would say 7.0 the lowest on battery. Now my lowest I've been seeing was like 7.4, 7.5, and that means I could apply more power, but I'm gradually getting there. To me, I don't think we need, at this, where the cold temperatures is at and all that, to get to where I want to be, I don't think I need to add 40 boost. That's just me. Maybe I'll learn more in the future, but as of right now, I'm just gradually gonna work my numbers up to get where I need to go. Um, I've seen plenty tunes that people, you know, said that would work or work for them, but every car is different, and just figuring out my car and where to boost. Turbo, I have yet to really dig into. It's the front half I've been working on. I'm assuming, or I'm hoping, that once I've got the front half worked out, I should be able to throw turbo at it because the front half is already going. The momentum should just carry into the turbo. That's my theory anyway. So I don't know much about the frequencies. So I don't know if I need to turn the motor frequency down or up, whatever. It's my brake settings, reverse, throttle. Now let me explain to y'all something about the narrow, normal, and wide. Let me grab a remote real quick. So for me, this is just for me. Everybody's different. So on the remote, if you have it on normal, your throttle would advance about right here. All right. So if you put it on wide, it would make it even come in more before it engages. Now for me, I've been doing this on Castle. I need mine to engage as soon as I touch this throttle. All right. So that's why I have it on narrow. As soon as I bleep the throttle, the car moves right off the line. So I need to, I need every bit I can get right off the line. So that's why I keep mine on narrow. That's just me. Start power, I've seen it done many of ways. So I leave my start power there. And what I really mess with is the curve and the ESC. I'm still tweaking this. This is what a lot of people say, this is what the newfound power is. So you don't always have to mess with start power to me. Like my groove to get off the line, if I'm getting stuck, I wouldn't mess with start power. Because I notice if I go up to 80 or 50 or 60, when I bleep the throttle, the car in my hand jumps hard. Now that is okay, but I can help with that by compensating with the curve. That's my theory though. Everybody got their own theory. I'm learning, I'm trying new things. So now if I leave, for instance, my curve at the bottom, I will get stuck with the start power like this. But being that my start power is at 25, so it don't ramp or wheelie out the hole, I will just start adding curve. My first point, I start increasing. You can make different curves in here, but what I do is I just start increasing my first point, and then mess with the second one to compensate so it doesn't hit too hard. But maybe I can show y'all what I'm saying. These are a bunch of throttle curves that came in the ESC already. I didn't mess with none of these. So for instance, you see how this throttle curve is here? I would if you start here and you get stuck, I would start working this up. You get stuck again, keep going up. All right. But now if you notice when you get out of the hole, it just too much. So you need to bring your second one down and put it where you feel it's going to be better. Maybe you could come out, lay it, and then bring it up. But don't pay attention to all of this because just think of it as linear. And then come up, or you can just, maybe it'll come out the hole and it's still dead. So you could just bring up the second one. Two-step it up a little bit. Let's see. Sorry about that. Alright, just for instance, just bring it up, say right here. If it takes that, add another one, and so on and so forth. That's me playing with this. This is all mine. I use a similar one right around there. I use one like right around here, two-step it out, make that. So what I've been working on the curve is also playing with my end. Since I've got the front half going good and it holds to the track, I'll start adding power to the end. It's like a P curve basically. I start maxing out my 9, my 8, my 7, and pretty much like that. But anyway, that's me learning the R1. There's probably many of ways you can do things. I'm just letting y'all know how I do it. So hopefully I made sense. And we'll see what happens the next outing. And these numbers will definitely change. And I'll show y'all again where I get to. Right now, I'm on a tree even with these same tune-ups. I'm running like a 180, 181. So, which ain't bad. So, we'll start feeding and keep progressing from there. But still learning the R1. And we're getting there. We're getting there. So, y'all stay tuned. I'm going to grab the Tombstone, get that up here, and then we'll go from there. Alright, y'all, here's my Pro Stock. This is the Tombstone chassis, the V1. They're working out great for me. So, I really had no issues with this car on the last outing. Did great. Actually, I was able to actually get... So, the last time out, I stayed with a ramp. Just kept changing, like, speed. Went from 96 to even to, like, a 92. The car stayed in the low 2.3s on the DTS. So, I changed to the P-curve. And I was running one with this stock car already, and I was running. I hit a 238 one time, but then after that, the first hit I got down. We was running dry tires, so the first hit I got down. The second one I didn't like it, and then I just kept fighting with the P curve. So I saved it, but took it out and went back to the ramp. So I just said, hey, Marco said, hey, you should use a P curve. So I said, you're right. And I went to go try a P-curve I had and one also I was given. So I tried the one I had and the car went dead down and ran a 228 or 226, something like that. I was pleased with that right there. So I just kept messing with the P-curve now, kept manipulating where I needed the power at. Also, shout out to Derek. I was able to use his program card to go into the ESC. What I noticed was my punch was on 4. I think I left it there. And my timing was where it comes at. So I end up maxing out the timing and keep running. So what I think happened now is, since I maxed out the timing, I think the car is going slower. I'm seeing more mile an hour, but as far as ET, I was seeing with the regular normal timing it came with, I was seeing like 225, 226 consistently. As soon as I upped the timing, I started to go to 228 and 229. So I left everything the same, and what I did now was, I remember I'm running an old Max Amp battery in here. Since I messed up the Outlaw car, I decided to take the battery from the Outlaw car and try it in here. The first hit put the car back into the 225s, but I know that was because of the battery and it being more efficient. So this was the red line, Gen Z's. It even stopped the cogging. Sorry about that. So it even stopped the cogging off the line. So even with the punch, I haven't touched the punch, but even with the Max Amp battery, I would get a little stall off the line and then it would launch. With that battery, I noticed it didn't the first hit. So I left everything the same with the car and I went into the remote and turned up the point and I noticed that it cogged. So now what I was trying to do was find the sweet spot for that battery. Because, you know, this ESCs with prep, they're not really designed to hold that much off the line with prep. So I figured I'll find a sweet spot and work in the P curves as I go in. So still a work in progress. Car's working out great though. Yeah, I'm liking the Spectrum ESC and motor. It's working out great. Now Benji had the VXL. He had some issues with his, but hopefully he got his worked out. So next outing we should definitely have some fun and get some good testing in. If not, should be racing. So we'll see. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for more. It was a good day of testing, yeah, that's for sure. I learned a lot, especially with the R1 ESC, that efficiency is key. So we're still getting there. Same with every car. All right, guys.